Happy Mother's Day, everybody. This is Tia Antoinette Coleman signing in. I just came from church. I'm enjoying this weather. It's beautiful out here. It's pushing 80s. My hair is all straight. It ain't raining. Won't he do it? Hey, hello. Today I want to do a quick mini sermon. It has nothing to do with mothers, but you may be able to relate and be blessed by this message. It's dealing with, and I don't know the exact scripture, but I know it's in Genesis somewhere, and it's dealing with not talking so much, like having wisdom enough to know when to speak and when not to speak. Okay, so we all know, or maybe you don't know, that when Joseph was a teenager, he was the youngest of 12. Okay, he had 12 brothers, and Jacob, I believe, was his dad. If I got the name wrong, I apologize. But Joseph and the multicolored coat, if you know the story, he had 11 older brothers who soon became the foundation of the tribes of Israel. They were the tribes of Israel. And when he was young, he was already favored by his dad, being a baby, whatever. And his brothers was kind of hating because, that's not a fun position to be in. Oh, my dad likes so-and-so more than he likes me. Oh, okay. And he also had dreams. Joseph had these dreams and these visions that he was one day going to rule over his brothers. Now, okay, that's some deep stuff. That's a lot for a teenager to absorb. And because he seemed to be spiritually in tune, he knew what the dreams meant, because it wasn't like explicit. Oh, I'm going to rule my brothers someday. It was in the form of a parable. It was something else. But he was in tune enough to know, oh, this means that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But here's what's kind of funny. He told his brothers, oh, I had these dreams. I'm going to rule y'all, right? I'm going to be running y'all, right? Why did he think that was a good idea? Why did he think that was going to go over well? Why did he think that was going to go over well? I mean, you're the youngest of 11 brothers. All these men, they're older than you. They already hating on you. They already feel that, man, our dad treats you better than he treats us. Why did Joseph think that was a good idea? And when we are young, we are immature sometimes. When we're young in the faith, we are immature. When we're young naturally, we do stupid stuff. We might be very smart. We might have all these gifts, but we are still young, whether you're a teenager or a kid or a young adult. We all have growing and learning to do. So I just didn't see why he would think that would go over well. But he told his brothers, and they proceeded to say, oh, okay, you think you're going to run us? Okay, we got something for you. Okay, we're going to get together, and we're going to make it seem like this animal killed you, and we're going to dip your coat in blood, and we're going to sell you to some Egyptians. Or I guess that's what happened. I got to read and find out. But I think that's what happened. So the moral of the story is you have to be careful who you talk to. You can't talk too much. And just because people are in your circle, or just because people are your friends, or just because people are your family, don't mean I could tell them anything, because you just don't know who's for you. You don't know who's against you. And, it's very hard when you think you can confide in people. And then you have to be careful, the nature of what you say, because he was like, oh, I had a dream I was going to run y'all one day. Hey, it's my neighbor. I had, you have to be careful how you even deliver your message. I mean, because if you're coming from a place where you're very proud, or you're bragging, or, that turns people off. You got to have wisdom in what you say. You have to come to a point where it's like, okay, I want to say this, but let me think some things through. Just because you think, okay, I'm sorry. Something threw me off. I have a story or situation that just happened recently. I've never really been good with getting my feelings out if it's going to lead to confrontation. And I addressed a here and now situation to this one person, but I brought up all this old mess that probably should have just been said years ago when it happened, but it all came out. And she went in on me. She caught herself chastising me and judged me, even though she said she don't judge people. She proceeded to call me all types of names. And it's okay, because this person is not really important to me. But she was important enough at one point that I thought she could really help me. She could really benefit me. But that's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter is, I went in because it was like, I've been feeling this way for so long, and now I'm about to tell you. I'm going to tell you how I feel, and blah, 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 blah. And I don't think that my feelings are unwarranted. I don't think it was wrong, but maybe I should have said it a long time ago. Or maybe I should have just addressed the here and now situation and just left the here and now. Like, I should have just kept it at that. And I just could have done it a different way. So in my situation, I should have thought it through, but I was just, big and bad Tia or whatever. I just thought, okay, I'm going to tell her how I feel, because I've been holding on this for a long time. Sometimes you have to address stuff as soon as it happens and use, pray about it and have wisdom. Lord, okay, how should I say it? Or should I even say it? All that stuff is important, and it just leads to, the whole be careful what you say. And because sometimes, I'm sorry, another spur of the moment sermon. So I'll be trying to get my thoughts together as I'm talking instead of writing stuff out and organizing. But basically, just you want to be careful, because if you talk too much, sometimes you're not saying anything at all. Or if you talk too much, you let some stuff come out that don't need to be said. Or there's a time and a place. And sometimes if you don't say anything, then you hold on to stuff, and you hold on to it, and you hold on to it, and it blows up in your face. And the point you was trying to make sometimes gets misconstrued, or just anything could happen. So it takes a lot of balance, and it takes courage to say what you have to say when you need to say it. It just takes wisdom and prayer. We don't have to say everything. Even in Proverbs, it says a fool speaketh all his thoughts. And we could be as smart as we want to be. We could be like Pinky and the Brain Genius smart. But that don't necessarily mean we have to say everything we need to say. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to tell everybody everything we know. So you might come off as a know-it-all, and they're not trying to hear you anymore. Or you might think you know stuff, but God may have something different for them. So you could give them false information. Just anything. Even if you're really smart, or even if you're not that smart, or somewhere in between, you just have to be careful what you say and how you say it. And that doesn't mean, walk on eggshells with people. That just means pray for balance and pray for wisdom, so that what you want to say is conveyed. I hope that helps you, because I know I tend to talk like a teenager, but I think that's a good word for a lot of us. Just balance and wisdom and prayer. Just kind of think things through before you speak. Think before you speak. Our parents teach us that. Don't be quick to just pop off at the mouth. Think before you speak. So, you guys have a wonderful holiday. Kiss your moms. Pray for those who have, moms are not with them anymore, who have gone to be with the Lord. And have an awesome day. Bye.